What's up, guys? This is Astranox. It's time for the showcase of Twisted Eidolon Kayron. This hero is definitely an interesting hero, and he's actually better than I thought. So he's able to counterattack without a counter set because he's got the counterattack buff the start of the battle and at the end of his turn. So he's going to be able to just do a lot of damage with the counterattacks because his skill 1 will start to attack everyone instead of attacking a single target. When it's like your turn, you just attack one target. So it ends up dealing a lot of damage. Now, the way I have him set up is Destruction with Unity set. To be honest, I don't even know if Unity even triggered once. But yeah, the Destruction at least gives me a nice amount of crit damage, and I'm almost maxed out there. I'm real close to 100% crit chance, right? And I've built some bulk on him, right? Like, he's got over 15k HP. He has, I believe, almost 1,000 defense. And I'm able to take quite a bit of damage. Now, with a hero that gets a counterattack buff, you need to be able to take quite a few hits, because the whole mechanic of the hero is that you receive a hit, so then you can deal damage. But of course, he gets turns, he deals damage on his turn. Counterattacks are free damage, which is nice. So it's important for you to cleanse him off of enable to buff debuff. It's important that he doesn't get crippled with a bunch of debuffs, right? So I'm using Leica, and Leica is actually very, very good with him, because you can just trigger him into a dual attack with attack buff on him. He will get it for 2 turns, and the target will get target debuff. So all in all together, that is a lot of damage, and I'm really enjoying that. And you can see the damage here. This is not a tanky team, but still, considering the fact that I have him built with over 15k HP, let's say it's 1,000 defense, right? Almost 1,000 defense. That is pretty good. He's got some speed as well on his substats. Like, he's over 150 speed. Now, I would have traded the speed for, you know, HP, defense, more attack, and get that crit damage maxed out on destruction, right? You can run him on lifesteal, and I think he can win you a lot of games on lifesteal, because if you make sure he's gonna have the counter buff, you're gonna be deadly, because those are AoE attacks, and it hits pretty hard, man. And with lifesteal, it's gonna bring his life back up real nicely. And the skill 3 is an AoE attack, right? Now, the thing is, the big beef about this hero, people are complaining about it, is that he doesn't get enraged fast enough. And he needs to be enraged to do 10,000 fixed damage on his ultimate. This is an AoE attack. It's already doing 2,000 fixed damage after the initial hit, right? And 10,000 is pretty ridiculous if you pull it off. Like, that is an execute right there. You're gonna murder all sorts of heroes, even tankier teams. Imagine them taking 10,000 damage each on top of the damage that you initially dealt, right? So I think they have to make it easier for it to happen. But if it's too easy, it could be very devastating. Could be very dangerous. Now, you could play him with a bunch of heroes supporting him, right? You could have a knight with Aureus. If you can put defense buff on your team, which is not something that I've done, but if you do it, it's gonna definitely increase your team's survivability, including himself. And if you're able to, like I said, you know, cleanse debuff, keep immunity on him, just make sure, you know, babysit him, make sure he doesn't get enabled to buff debuff, doesn't get crippled to hell, and he's gonna be able to do some great things. You could run him as your only damage dealer in RTA. You like pick 2 damage dealers. Like, let's say one gets banned, he's let through. A lot of people are not scared of him. They were not banning him. I got him banned maybe twice, and that was maybe 15 games or maybe close to 20 games. So people are not scared about him, which is good. So I first picked him as well. And people are like, no big deal, right? And he's actually able to do quite a bit of damage. Now, the reason why I stopped using Moonlight Dreamblade, I switched it, because originally I wanted to run it, is because I'm like, yo, let's run him with Leica. I'm gonna have attack buff on him. I don't need the Moonlight Dreamblade. Yes, it's survivability increase if you're lucky and you evade, right? But if you're gonna have an attack buff for him, you can run something else, right? Now, you could be running any source of damage increasing artifact, You can even run Eliha's Knife. Eliha's Knife is going to deal a lot more damage, but the targets need to have, they need to not be at maximum health. So you can penetrate 20% of their defense. So as you can see, the damage, that was a tanky team there. Like, they had like the fans buff, right? So they're able to take quite a bit of damage. And, well, it doesn't look like we're actually dealing that much damage with Kayron, but yeah, it's because they're tanky, high defense buff, right? But his performance, to be honest, I'm surprised. Like, I thought it'd be much worse from what I'm hearing from the community, but he's actually quite usable. If you use him correctly, if you build enough bulk on him and he doesn't go down, make sure that counter attack buff will stay on him. It's gonna be dangerous. Like, as you can see here, like running him with a healer, then like a healer that can revive, you know, Reroll of Light. Yeah, it's gonna be better as a duo compared to, like, let's say Destina, but Destina is real deadly with you know, the whole team coming back to life. So I think you guys should experiment with him in different team composition, but the Leica combo is super dangerous. Like, that is super devastating right there. And well, that's the thing though. If they ignore him, he's not gonna be doing the counter attack, which means he's not gonna be attacking their whole team. So now to use him properly, you have to pick him versus a team, versus an enemy that will have at least one hero that is sort of like forced to AoE, like a hero that, you know, has one of their crucial attack, area attack. So they will hit him, but it has to be a hero that will trigger counterattack, not a hero that doesn't trigger counterattack, right? Like, Spectre Tenebria can definitely be very dangerous, especially if he's the only damage dealer. Like, his skill number 3 will not provide enough damage to pop Esteni, especially if she's protected with Orius barrier healing. Like, it's not gonna be happening, right? Unless you get to do the 10,000 fixed damage, right? If they're tanky enough, they have barrier, they see it coming, they get ready for it, the 10,000 fixed damage will not be enough too. That's another issue, right? So it definitely takes a lot of time to build it up, be able to use it. I think that whenever he gets a buff, the way they should do it is that his skill number 3, the cooldown should reset when he gets 100 fighting spirit. Because imagine you get that 100 fighting spirit, you get the 50% combativeness push, and you're ready to do that 10,000 fixed damage. That sweet 10,000 fixed damage on every target with the skill number 3. Sounds nice, but what if your skill 3 is on cooldown? What if the enemy puts your skill 3 on cooldown? That's a problem, right? So anyways, I'd like to hear what you guys think about all that in the comment section. I'm Astranox. Good luck with all ya do. Peace out for now.